Good evening, Steel City. Welcome to the Yinzer Report. Creating a direct feed for all that is sports. On today's special rescheduled edition, the Friday edition, the Pittsburgh Steelers behind Russell Wilson put up a win in Cincinnati, with both teams scoring AFC North historic amount of points. With this win, Mike Tomlin now extends his consecutive season's winning streak to 18. Mike Tomlin, Steeler fans, your head coach. The Steelers extend their first place record to 9-3 and have a 2-game lead in the AFC North. They are halfway through their AFC North scheduled games in a row, and now Sunday have a chance to move one game closer to a division title with a win versus the Browns with the rematch in Pittsburgh. I will explain this and go over in detail. The win in Cincinnati, hashtag, here we go. We have NCAA Football Big Ten Championship tomorrow as number 3 Penn State takes on number 1 Oregon for the Big Ten Championship and the number 1 seed in the college football playoff. Penn State's season of championship aspirations alive and well in Happy Valley. Hashtag we are Penn State. Pitt football take the low road to end their season, losing a 5th straight game at BC, thus showing the missing of freshman quarterback sensation Eli Holston, who had a 7-0 record but was hurt for the last 5 games, and now they await a bowl invitation. We still all hail you, Pitt. West Virginia fans know better as they finished 6-6 after getting blown out by Texas Tech, and soon after fire head coach Neil Brown, where I guess the writing on the wall the past 3 weeks was true. Pitt's men's basketball team starts out 7-1, beating some college basketball top 100 teams and earning themselves the hashtag icon with the number 18 after it. It is ranked number 18 in the country. I will start the show off with our tremendous sponsors, Planet Jerky, premium beef jerky that's on another planet. Seal the deal wax, seal wax stamp. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. And IE Sports Radio, direct feed for all that is sports and why we are doing the Yinzer Report. Steel City, please come join me in my 47th episode, 26 live on StreamYard. On this celebration on a Friday, this is the Yinzer Report on IE Sports, the radio, your direct feed for all that is sport. Let's go!
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single-A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all-brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps. for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at @SealTheDeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop, including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
Well, good evening, everybody. This is Ralph Calise, your host of the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. And we have a special edition tonight because I was away for the Tuesday show. I was out in sunny Florida having a little mini vacation with my lovely wife. And it was well needed and well deserved. And we had a great time. And I was able to reschedule the show for tonight. And thank you, IE Sports Radio, for letting me do that. We have rescheduled for the 8 o'clock time slot tonight, and we appreciate the Yinzer Report appreciates the reschedule for the show. So let's start off with the Pittsburgh Steelers, who last we left you was a while ago, and they had lost to the Cleveland Browns in the snow game. Browns wound up winning the game in the snow, but they came out and they had the 10-day mini bye, and they went into Cincinnati in the third leg of this AFC North divisional time of the year that they're in. They played Baltimore, then they played Cleveland, and they had to go to Cincinnati last week. So Cincinnati started out. The Steelers won the game 44-38. The 82 points were the highest ever in a AFC North game. Russell Wilson, I guess you could say, who now is the Steelers' starting quarterback, he after an interception throw on his first throw to George Pickens, which I'll get into in a little bit, you could see he just took over the game. He was commanding the line, making the plays up at the line. If something was called in from Arthur Smith or Mike Tomlin or whoever was calling into him, if he changed it, he wanted to change it, he changed it. And he was in complete command with changing the plays that were called in and putting up scoring drives in 5 straight drives. And 3 of them were in the first half. I'm sorry, 5 straight times in the first half. He was 29-38 for 414 yards, 3 TDs, and a 126.3 passer rating. Russell Wilson is now 5-1 as a starter. He's the third Steeler quarterback to throw for more than 400-plus yards and 3 TDs in their history. The only other two to do it was Ben Roethlisberger, who did it 5 times, and Tommy Maddox, who did it once. And now you have Russell Wilson, who did it. Wilson put to bed the quarterback conversation of who's starting for sure, in my opinion. I wrote this down on my notes during the game. The QB Wilson starts and Fields closes. Justin Fields actually came in the game at the end of the game and ran a 7-yard play on an RPO for the first down to clinch the game. But I'll talk about that a little bit too. So let's get into the game. Like I said, it was a historic game with the 82 points scored in the game. The Steelers won the toss, deferred it. It was a good move because the Bengals went 3 and out. But like I mentioned, the Steelers' first play on offense was a pick 6 as Russell Wilson threw it to George Pickens. You could actually see like George Pickens was interfered with. The guy's hands was up by his neck and he threw him to the ground. There was no call on the broadcast on CBS. They did say that when they had the referee come on and talk about it, he did feel that it was a penalty that was not called, but they can't go by that during the game. The referees are calling the game on the field. So Pickens was interfered, thrown to the ground, no call. Thing about the penalties with George Pickens, I'm going to get into it a little later on in this Steelers segment. So the first quarter, the Bengals Taylor Britt interception return for 7-0. Pickens, though, did come right back on the next drive with Russell Wilson for a 17-yard TD pass. And then Bengals came back, and it was just nonstop scoring. Chase Brown with a 1-yard TD run, and that was the end of the first quarter. It was 14-7 Bengals. The second quarter came down. Chase Brown had a 23-yard pass from Calvin Austin had a 23-yard pass from Russell Wilson to tie the game at 14-14. Jamar Chase then caught a 4-yard pass from Joe Burrow, 21-14 Bengals. They're going back and forth. It was crazy. It was the punter there was no punts. So it was the Steelers then wound up kicking 2 field goals. Like I said, he engineered points on 5 straight drives, Russell Wilson, and they had a 27-21 lead at the half. And the 48 points by the Steelers and Bengals also was an AFC North record. Just an insane first half. The third quarter started, and the Steelers, of course, had the ball because they deferred, and they didn't score. They drove a little bit, but they did not score. The drive faltered, and Bengals got the ball. They kicked the field goal, so it's 27-24 Steelers. And then Russell Wilson, oh, man, one of the best drives of the season for the Steelers. He led them right back down the field. He threw a 25-yard TD pass to Pat Freiermuth. We are now seeing the tight end being used in the Arthur Smith offense, and this was the drive. It happened. I think Freiermuth had 3 other catches on the drive. So it's now 34-24 Steelers. The fourth quarter came, and now the defense turns it up on Joe Burrow because the Steelers had the 10-point lead, and they had their ears pinned back. They had them in passing downs. They weren't running the ball much more, and there was a strip stack fumble by Nick Herbig. Peyton Wilson picked the ball up and ran it back 41-24 Steelers. Bengals came back. They scored a 1-yard TD pass by T. Higgins, 41-31. That was penalty aided again. We'll get into that after we do this segment. Boswell field goal, which came up clutch there, made it 44-31 Steelers. And then another TD pass from Joe Burrow to a Bengal wide receiver, and it was 44-38 Steelers. Like I said, Justin Fields was the closer. In the closer role, he came in on a 3rd and 4, and a 7-yard run gave the Steelers the win, victory formation in Seattle, and the Steelers are now 9-3. So it was a big win in Cincinnati. They're 9-3 in the AFC North. Russell Wilson was named the FedEx Air and Ground Player of the Week. I believe it was 2 days ago. So he deserved that. And you now have a Steeler team playing, the 2024 Steelers playing their style. What style it is, each game is different. So the Steelers now are 9-3, 2-1 in the AFC North. Third seed right now in the AFC playoffs, which is big because that's a home game. If things work out with a win Sunday and one more versus Baltimore, they clinch the AFC North. So think about it. If they win Sunday and come back and beat Baltimore in 2 weeks, I think they clinch the division and they win the division, and they should have a bye. They should get a first round bye because they're already 2 games ahead of the Ravens, and they have the head-to-head to them. So if they beat them again, there's no way the Ravens can catch them. So the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2024. Now this is what happened after they lost to the Browns. The team response after last week's loss to the Browns with the mini bye week, the practice habits, the diligence of all the players, offense and defense, special teams and coaches, are things showing the Steelers are working for something they want. Russell Wilson says all the time this matters to him, the team, the fans, and please let's keep Russ cooking. Russ cooks after every interview with a Steelers reporter or somebody else, he yells out, "Go Steelers, let's get it." So that's the "Let Russ Cook" line of the day right there. Go Steelers, let's get it. But again, at 9-3 with the third seed in the AFC playoffs, the Steelers are showing they can play any little game you want them to play. You want to open it up, go points for points. They have shown they can do that. You want to play bully ball? The Steelers can play bully ball too. And the one thing they are not doing is turning the ball over. They are winning they are taking it away and winning the turnover battle. And that's huge. You want to rush the quarterback? The Steelers can rush a quarterback with their linebackers. You want to run up the middle on us? Cam Hayward will be there saying, no, not here, not now. Steelers have very few holes to dissect. And don't forget, in my opinion, the Steelers have the best kicker in football, who's Chris Boswell. When you look at it and games come down to football in December, special teams, able to finish drives, able to finish games, that's what situational football is. And the Steelers have it, and they show strong in all these areas. And if you go back to any of their games, you can see that they have been playing with all those things I mentioned there. Each game is like different. I mean, the beginning of the year when Justin Fields was there, like I mentioned, and he had the 4-2 record. It was just run deep, run the ball, pass here and there, and defense, and let Justin Fields just not turn the ball over and win the game. And that's how they won. Russell Wilson came, and now you can see the points are stacking up. I think they're averaging 28.7 points while Russell Wilson's at quarterback now. This is what the I will say I've noticed a trend as of late that can be problematic for the Steelers. Penalties, and plenty of them. With 2 Steelers players with definite targets on their backs, one on offense, one on defense. The one on offense, like I said, is George Pickens. Constant taunting and gesture calls leading to almost disqualifications. He left Tomlin saying George has to grow up. I've noticed that he complains basically on every play. If you watch when he doesn't get a call, I mean, some of the times he's right. You can't really blame him, but he complains on every play, and I don't think the refs take that. They don't like that. They don't take that type of crap. And he had 2 penalties against Cincinnati Sunday, and they both were qualified as disqualification penalties. But they were 2 different types of disqualification penalties. One was a taunt where he dropped the ball on the player, which cost him 15 yards on like a 20-yard play. And then there was a 33-yard pass where he pointed. He's claiming he pointed first down, but it was a gun motion like this. He used 3 fingers like this, and he pointed out to the stands, and they threw the flag for him on that. But they deemed it two different unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, and that he didn't get disqualified. Where did these rules come up in the NFL? This is they come up week by week. I've never heard of that. I thought he was getting thrown out of the game, honestly. But yeah, so Mike Tomlin said in his press conference that he has to grow up. Now the other problem is, and this problem is really bad because This is one of our key players on defense. This is Joey Porter. He's the cornerback, second-year cornerback for the Steelers, and I jotted some things down about him that came out. He's had in 2 games. He's had 2 different games. He's had 10 penalties called on him. 10 penalties called on him. Let me see. Joey Porter Jr. 12 penalties this year have come in just 3 games. He had 3 in the Denver game. He had 3 in the Washington game, and he had 6 versus the Bengals Sunday. 4 were accepted, and 2 were on 1 play. Oh, they got to get Joey Porter right. They got to get him right. The Joey Porter Jr., who is a struggle right now at the defensive back position, pass interference penalties. He had, like I said, versus Washington. He had the 6 penalties against the Bengals Sunday. Oh, yeah, and on 1 play, he held the guy at the beginning. He got called for holding at the beginning. And then as the play went on in the end zone, he made a pass interference. They called 2 penalties on him. They took the pass interference penalty. They had the ball on the 1-yard line. And, of course, the Bengals scored on that. Tomlin's response for Porter's penalty Sunday in his press conference when they asked him, he was covering T. Higgins mostly the whole game for the Bengals. And he says, T. Higgins was playing goon ball, Goon ball with Joey Porter. Okay, Mike. If you say that's what he was bullying him, as I said in the beginning, we bully people too. But yeah, no, honestly, and they have to get that straightened out with Joey Porter, because you can't have a defensive back covering their best player. And he wasn't even covering Jamar Chase. He was covering T. Higgins, and he recorded 6 penalties and 4 were accepted, and they were all chunk yardage, the pass interference penalties. So that was that with the penalties. That's really, I see, the only problem that the Steelers are having this year is those 2 guys with the penalties, but it hasn't really come to fruition where it's really bitten them and caused a loss. That's when you're really going to start hearing about them, when that happens. So let's get into what I put on the bottom of the screen there. It's Mike Tomlin's 18th consecutive winning season. So Mike Tomlin fans are out there screaming he can't win the big game, but he's got 18 consecutive winning seasons. So I guess everybody out there screaming that he hasn't won the big game will take that. So Mike Tomlin's 18th straight season with a winning regular season record, now has his championship quarterback along with his championship coaching staff, and he is the only coach to have this scenario other than KC. So basically what I said, I read that wrong. When I must have wrote it. I must have wrote it late. Right now in the division, Mike Tomlin is the only one with a championship in the AFC, of any of the AFC playoff teams right now. He's the only one with a championship. The only other coach in this scenario with the playoffs to have a championship is the Chiefs coach with KC. So he's up there with all the teams that are vying for the playoffs right now. He's got a championship, and nobody else does. I know it was a long time ago, but it's 18 consecutive winning seasons. I don't know how you can be mad about that. So the Steelers now coming to Sunday, and like I mentioned before, they are 2 games away from taking the division title against the AFC North. So they're playing their 4th game now in the AFC North Sunday versus the Browns. This is the rematch game from Thursday night in the snow 2 weeks ago. And if they could pull this win out, they will be 10-3. They will have a full 2-game lead in the standings over Baltimore. But really it'll be 3 because right now they have the win over them head-to-head. So we'll see what happens with that. The rematch is this weekend. And the Browns are coming to Pittsburgh. And we'll see how it goes Sunday. So I heard the weather is supposed to be really nice. It's supposed to be like 45 to 50 degrees Sunday in Pittsburgh. I wanted cold weather and snow. But we'll see what happens. All right, so we'll go off with that with the Steelers. That's the Steelers for now. Let's check the chat. And first one in the chat is Mr. Larry B. I love the notes. Larry B., thank you very much. You set this up for me so I could do my show on Friday, and I appreciate it. And yes, I like to take notes. I've mentioned that to you plenty of times. Taryn Marie, good evening, Ralph. Have an awesome show. Yes, Taryn. Likewise with you. You had a great show tonight. I watched the whole show. I appreciate tuning into the SoCal Supreme Short Show, and I appreciate you tuning into the Yinzer Report. He also goes on to say, anyway, Pitt women's volleyball is standing on business against Morehead State. I hope they can win it all. They deserve this moment. Yeah, Taryn, I saw your bracket sheet over there. You had Pitt going against Nebraska, and I think you picked Nebraska. I'm not sure. If you're out there still listening, just clarify that for me. But yes, they think they were playing tonight as I came on. And we got Larry B again. Let's go. Yeah, Larry, we're going. All right, so I'm going to take a break. And when I come back, I'm going to get into the college football situation going on. Tomorrow we have a championship game. We have Penn State playing Oregon for the Big Ten championship. And I'm saying whoever wins this game is going to get the number one seed in the college playoff brackets there for the college championship, the NCAA championship. So let's take a break. This is the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We will be right back after this.
What's up, New York? This is Ricky K coming at you at the NY State of Sports, a new show here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Listen to me every Thursday afternoon as we bring you the latest takes on the Yankees, Mets, Jets, Giants, Knicks, Nets, Rangers, Devils, and Islanders. Plus, you get some college hoops and what's the local sports events going on in the area. It's a state that never sleeps, so why not get the opinions and sports takes that never sleep? Again, every Thursday, 2 p.m. to the NY State of Sports. We'll see you then.
Are you a fan of Buffalo sports? Are you thinking of changing loyalties and becoming a Buffalo sports fan? Do you even know where Buffalo is on the map? Did you know Canada is closer to Buffalo than New York City? Welcome to the Buffalo Huddle, every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 4 p.m. Pacific Coast Time on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm your host, Patty Bax. This is a podcast designed for you, the passionate sports fan. I know you love your sports. Who doesn't? I cover Buffalo sports and so much more by bringing in the human elements. I call it Buffalo Sports with a Twist. Join me as we take a journey into the world of Buffalo sports. I guarantee you'll fall in love with Buffalo just like I did. Each week we start with an inspiration, question of the day, a Buffalo fun fact, and a weekly challenge to you, the listener. Come huddle up with me every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 4 p.m. Pacific Coast Time for the Buffalo Huddle with Patty Bax on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. As we say in Buffalo, go Bills!
All right, welcome back. This is the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I am your host here, Ralph Calise. I'm going to do a segment before we get into the Big Ten Championship because I believe we're going to have a special guest join us for that. But I'm going to get into the Pitt Panthers and the West Virginia Mountaineers and how they closed out their seasons. So Pitt lost 34-23 to the Boston College Eagles. It was their fifth straight loss to end the season. They had no Eli Holstein again. That spells trouble for Pitt. Nate Narniel again for Holstein. He did throw 23 passes for 42 attempts, 296, and 3 TDs. Really had Pitt involved for the game, but was getting banged up in the first drive of the game, and his throws at the end, you can see the injury took the toll on him for that. He believes he broke his wrist during the game, and he still played. He said, "I broke it," and Coach Narduzzi went out there. He says he went out there, a tough son of the gun, and we appreciate players' effort. Pitt, all ACC tight end Gavin Bartolome caught 2 DD passes from Yarnell, and it was a great game to possibly end his career at Pitt. So the injury to Holstein, like I mentioned at the beginning, derailed a very, very promising season for Pitt, who were also without running back Desmond Reed due to injury. Reed entered the week 5th nationally in all-purpose yards, and these two players' losses amounted close to 80% of Pitt's offense. And the losses killed the team's mojo as they went along. But we'll all hail Pitt. They are in line for a bowl reservation, so we will see what happens with that. And here's a crazy stat that popped up after the Pitt game. Pitt had one of the longest streaks in college football. Pitt has lost the last 3 games in every season since 1982. That's 43 straight years. They've lost 3 straight games to end the season. That is something else. You don't make stats up like that. We'll go on to West Virginia. And West Virginia, they got routed by Texas Tech 52-15. The rout was on, and Coach Neil Brown was soon to be gone. His future with West Virginia had gone to an end, being let go by West Virginia after the game. The Mountaineers have moved from Neil Brown. The loss ruled a perfect season on the road in the Big 12. That hit hard in the first loss of the road. Neil Brown, as mentioned, was fired, closes his career in Morgantown with a 37-35 record over 6 seasons, hired in January 2019, struggled in his first 4 seasons, posting a 22-25 mark with the season struggles at home, securing his fate. West Virginia forgot it was bowl. West Virginia, don't forget, is bowl eligible, and he had 2 winning seasons in 6 years. West Virginia. This is. I took this out of some notes too. As Larry B mentioned, he likes my notes. West Virginia University Athletic Director Ren Baker called Neil Brown a great person and served as a tremendous ambassador for West Virginia. Wished him the very best in his family in their next endeavor. Baker, we will keep our focus on the incredible young men in our program and prepare for our bowl game. Our national search for West Virginia's 36th head football coach is already underway. We will strive for our best and will have an astounding pool of candidates to choose from. West Virginia is very confident about this, and that was the athletic director, Ren Breaker, about the firing of Neil Brown. So the writing was on the wall for Neil Brown, and yes, he did get fired. Back to the chats, we have C. Duffy, go Bills. Drewski. Oh, my man Drewski. What's good, Ralph? I see you doing some switch hitting. I have a great show and much love for the rest of the IESR family. Thank you, Drewski. Thank you for joining in. And yes, we will always have love for you, Mr. Drewski. You're a great person and a great man. Thank you for joining in. All right, so I have a special guest coming up for you guys. I believe he's up there now. Let's see if I can add. Are you there?
Hey, what's on, everybody? How's everyone doing out there tonight?
What is happening from 3 and Out College Edition? Larry B, half of the College Edition with Terran Rodriguez. Thank you, sir, for joining me tonight to talk about the Big Ten Championship.
I had to make some time for you, Ralph.
I know you're probably going to get in depth with it tomorrow on your show with Terran, but I just wanted to have you come on and get your insight on it because I have some things about it, but I know you'll probably have a little better more following it a little better like you do every week with Terran.
Hey, I'm gonna do my best for you, brother. I'm glad. Thank you so much for having you here, man.
I'm so glad you can join because I didn't think you were gonna make it. I like I said, I got back from the trip and I had a crazy trip home and I couldn't keep in touch with you. And thank God I got home safe. That's the main thing, I guess, out of all of it. But yeah, man, very, very excited to have you on. And man, you know how I feel about you, bro. I don't have to go through it again on there.
Appreciate you, brother.
IE Sports Radio. There's the merch. If you guys want any merch, the shirts are out there. IE's got the hat. He's got the flag in the background. And hold on, let me just check the chat. We got Drewski's in the chat. The OG Larry B. Yeah.
Big ups to everybody, man. We appreciate you all. You guys are amazing. Drewski, appreciate you, brother. Thanks for being here tonight, man. Thank you to everybody again. You guys are amazing. Everyone up in the chat, everybody who listens to the show. We're almost 200 listeners, if I'm not mistaken, tonight. Ralph,
wow.
You're cooking.
That is
brother.
Awesome. Yes,
I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
As always, man, just thank you to everybody out there. As I always say on my shows and everything, you guys are amazing. You guys are what make IE Sports Radio what it is and what it's becoming over the last 10 years. You guys are incredible, so thank you for that.
Larry, bigger and better things are coming with you at the helm. I'll tell you that much.
We're doing our best, brother. And this show has been amazing, by the way, man. I just want to throw that out there before we start. Right. Your show has been incredible, brother, so I appreciate you for that, man.
I tell you, I'm liking this slot, but I know it's yours for another time, but...
You can have it. This is yours. You're kicking ass, man.
My nephew's popped in there. He calls you the boss, man. I tell him about you all the time. My nephew, Danny.
Hey, what's up, Danny? What's going on out there? Hey, I do my best, man. These guys, like I said, it just comes back to you guys every time, man, because though I may have created the dang thing, without you guys, this wouldn't work. So I just want to throw my, whatever you guys give to me, I appreciate it and give it right back.
Drewski's out there again, hardest working dudes in the continent. Thanks, Drewski. Thanks for joining in. All right, let me hit the banner up here for what we're going to talk about. And like I said, tomorrow is the Big Ten Championship. Number 1 Oregon versus number 3 Penn State. And Penn State got a little lucky last week. I mean, they won their game. They did what they had to do, Larry, from when they lost with Ohio State. And Coach Franklin said that they were just gonna take the plan, win out, see what happens, and something like this happens. Who would have think Michigan goes out and beats Ohio State, and Ohio State is the one that beat Penn State, and now it's reversed because Ohio State beat Penn State, and now Penn State is in the championship. Yeah, it was like mayhem. Like I wrote something down here while I was away. Something about like a mayhem week with college football. And it was just wild. Wild rivalry weekend, pumps up chaos, upsets cause upheaval, and who's likely in the playoff and in these games, like we're saying. So,
well, first thing I gotta say is I'm loving. Okay, first things first. I never even asked you for this. This is how good Ralph Calise is, ladies and gentlemen. As I'm fumbling everything around here.
Come on, you're gonna make me blush on air, Larry.
This is something I gotta throw out there, man. Is that I never even asked you to cover West Virginia, and you're doing it anyway. So I love it. West Virginia is right next door, basically, to Pittsburgh. It's not very far. So I love the fact that you do that. It's always a joy hearing you, cover the Mountaineers, man. It's funny. Right now you were covering it, and I was over here singing. John
Country
Denver
Road.
Right now. Country Roads, but
you could sing that for Neil Brown because he's out the door.
Oh yeah, that's for dang sure.
They fired him right like as soon as they lost. I couldn't believe it.
I'll tell you right now, West Virginia has seen better days. Well, they're another story for another day, man. But I just got to say, big shout out to the games going on right now. I'm super excited for tomorrow's show, 3 Not College Edition with myself and Taryn. Yes. Right now, the Conference USA Championship, Jacksonville State is putting a beating on Western Kentucky. Okay. We got Boise State and UNLV. Oh, this game is so good in the Mountain West. We got the American Athletic going on right now. Army leading Tulane.
I was going to say, I saw something about Tulane and Army. I saw that game was on tonight.
We got some good football games going on, man. And just really quick, I gotta give a little love here, man, because there are some teams right now from the Pittsburgh area. Can we get a big shout out to Carnegie Mellon, ladies and gentlemen? Carnegie Mellon University.
High school.
Oh, yeah. Well, these guys, Carnegie Mellon out of Pittsburgh, really, really, really excited for these guys. This football team, let me tell you right now, this football team this year had one hell of a season. They played out of their freaking minds, man. Wow. They played extremely well this year, and they actually got all the way. They're playing tomorrow. They already made it past the first 2 rounds. They were up there. They made it past the first round. They defeated Centre 24-15 last week. Now tomorrow's going to be a little difficult because they're facing good old Mount Union. And Mount Union, let's just say they're the top of the mountain. They've been one of the biggest, baddest Division III football teams in all of Division III in the last, since 1993. And this team has been kicking ass and taking names. So tomorrow, Carnegie Mellon, let's see if they can get in there and make it happen but if they don't, it was a great season. They played extremely well, and go Tartans. These guys are a good football team, man, and congratulations to Carnegie Mellon. Just big ups to those guys. Got to give them some love, right? Also shout out to Duquesne, right? Duquesne football. Yes. And some Pittsburgh schools here.
Hey, I'm sitting here thinking while you're talking, I had you on for the Big Ten championship with Penn State, who really is. It's not really a Pittsburgh team, but it's close enough. I gotta say, they had a good year. And here you are, you come on air, and you're talking about Pittsburgh High School.
No, Carnegie Mellon's a university.
Oh, I'm sorry. University.
They're university.
But I know high school football out there is very big because when I go to camp, as you know, I go on one of the fields in Latrobe. And the kids are just there insane. They talk about playing football and it's just crazy out there. Football is a religion. It's a religion out there anywhere in Pittsburgh.
It is. And I mean, I was looking at their website right now. I mean, this is crazy. The Tartans, once again, Carnegie Mellon Tartans. What if I told you this, Ralph? 22 Tartans were named all Pac in their conference players this season. 22 of them made it onto the all Pac team in their conference. I mean, they have had a magical season. Tomorrow, let me just tell you guys right now, Pittsburgh fans, Steel City fans out there,
Steel City.
That's right. The Steel City will be roaring tomorrow, and not just because of those Steelers and those terrible towels.
No, Sunday.
Tomorrow, if the Tartans knock off Mount Union, let me just tell you, that city is going to erupt because Mount Union. This is David Goliath. This is cliche, but I'll tell you right now, if Carnegie Mellon wins this football game,
Right.
there's going to be a lot of partying in the Steel City. So I just want to. We got to talk about Penn State, but I just wanted to throw that out there, man. So
no, I definitely got to track it now.
It will be. And wouldn't you know it, Mount Union is out of, I don't know, Northern Ohio, a team that you guys love to hate. So this is basically Brown Steelers tomorrow.
It's always comes down to something like that. Ohio, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. That's Ohio too. Yeah. So
the hate you guys have for one another, it's crazy.
Oh my God, it's nuts, totally nuts.
But anyway, to get into what you brought me here for, of course.
No, hey, I'm great talking about that. Now we're gonna get into it tomorrow.
Oh yeah, tomorrow's gonna be fun, man. Like I said, big shout out to Carnegie Mellon. I'm just very proud of these guys. You got to give them credit where credit is due. There's just some good football out there to be played, and it's really cool to see these guys and how far they've made it, and they deserve a lot of credit. They really deserve a lot of credit. By the way, Slippery Rock University, not too far from Pittsburgh either. Got to give them a shout out. They're actually in the Division II bracket. They had a good battle. They defeated New Haven this past week or a couple weeks ago. They defeated Kutztown, which Kutztown, I believe, not too far from there either. And tomorrow they're taking on California University out of Pennsylvania. So I'm just saying, good football in Pennsylvania going on, man.
I'll definitely have to hit up the website and check out the scores and see what's going on.
Oh yeah, some Division II football going on, and it's going to be fun. So anyway, enough of that, man. Getting on into
So we're Penn State's 11-1 and Oregon's 12-0, and I was just doing some reading before I came on air that some of the guys on Oregon are they're already deemed for number one picks.
Oh yeah.
And I wrote some more notes down.
I love the notes, by the way. I love the notes.
I was reading about the quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, and they described him as an experienced and productive who shows up in big games, and he loves the big plays, and he's calm, collected, and he's in control when he's on the field. And I mean, hey, that's what you want, right? In a big game, and as a quarterback in a game like this, that is basically for the Big Ten championship, but even for the number one seed in the college playoff bracket there.
Kid's a monster.
So, yeah, I figured you would know more about him because, Oregon is closer out to where you are. And I heard you mention a couple of times on 3 and Out that I heard you say it, nobody's beaten Oregon.
No, and as much as I want to come on here and I'm cheering on Carnegie Mellon, I'm cheering on California, I'm cheering on Slippery Rock. Much as I'd like to give a shout out to Penn State, I don't see them winning this game.
I don't see them winning either, Larry. They start the season has been consistent. They start out slow and then they come out in the second half and they do what they got to do. But I don't know, if you come out slow in this game, I don't think you're going to be able to recover.
Yeah, this is a game. In looking at these teams, Ralph, I mean, the only loss this season, and this is impressive. They had a very good start of the season. The first game versus West Virginia, that was just a great game. They came out, they played extremely well. They gave it to West Virginia, and they played some good football, 34-12. Then obviously the game that concerns me a little bit, this is not sliding Bowling Green, but after playing such a good game versus West Virginia, you should have blown out Bowling Green. I don't know how on God's green earth you didn't blow out. It was very concerning to me. I don't know how you have a game like that afterwards. They looked a little bit out of sync, but you know what, Ralph? You can chalk it up to early jitters. It was early on in the season. I get it. Then they go on and do what they should have done to Bowling Green, to Kent State, blowing them out 56-0. Then they played at the time, Illinois was still up and coming. Now, obviously, Illinois, everyone knows they're pretty for real, number 19 team in the country right now. But during the time, 21-7 victory early on in the season, good stuff. Then they beat up on a UCLA team who I feel they should have probably beaten by more, but is what it is. Then were the red flags. Look, I still to this day believe SC should have won that damn game. Regardless, SC completely fell apart, and Penn State didn't bury him. That to me is also concerning because
the game went to overtime.
The game went to overtime. Penn State should have really ended that thing very fast. So, I mean, there are some flags. But after that, okay, a nice victory over Wisconsin, which Wisconsin is scrappy, but, Then Ohio State is the game that throws it all on its head, because you look at all those games I just mentioned, but they barely lost to a extremely talented Ohio State team. And to me, this was one hell of a football game. Ohio State, they're going to go bang, bang with everybody. They're going to bump. They're going to challenge whoever they face. This was a great football game. This was at home. The Happy Valley Columbus rivalry it's just, you've seen the whiteout so many times there. This is a 100% nasty Big Ten rivalry. And boy, this one did not disappoint. But this, to me, just, if you really wanted to prove something, if you really wanted to show who you are, this was the game. And unfortunately, it didn't go their way, but it was the only loss in the record, 20-13. After that, they go destroy Washington. They punk Purdue. The Minnesota game doesn't sit right with me, because Minnesota is good, but I don't. It was a 1-point victory. Yes, Minnesota fought, and they were in Minnesota. I'll give them that. But still, if you want to be taken serious, you need to destroy these teams. And this was a good game.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. But then they went and did what they should have done to Minnesota, to Maryland, and they beat them. I'm just saying,
after going down 7-0.
After going down 7-0.
Fumble in the first play of the game, and then the guy threw a touchdown. They were down 7-0. Then they scored 34 unanswered points.
Mishap right there.
But the Ohio State game, Larry, they did have 2 chances in the second half. They were inside the 5-yard line, and they couldn't. They went for it both times, and they couldn't get it in. Couldn't get it in.
To me, Ralph, this is frustrating. As if as a Penn State fan out there, somewhere, this was just disappointing to me. To me, this was this bothers me, because once again, Penn State, they're tired of being looked at as little brother. They're tired of being looked at as this team who's good but not great. If you're tired of it, then freaking play like it. And to me, look, I am not going to diss this team, because they're a good group of young men who want to go out there and fight. I'm not going to diss James Franklin, even though I don't have I don't know. Franklin, to me, is he's good, but bro, if you wanted that,
you know who I compare him to? Take a guess who I compare him.
Oh, don't you dare say Mike Tomlin. Oh no!
I know me like a book. All he does is win, but he can't win the big game.
Hey, well, Mike Tomlin did win a big game or two.
That's just a little side joke there.
Okay, I'm going to say 2009 on my birthday versus the Cardinals. I remember that, Santonio. Man. Remember that catch? Remember that?
Larry, I had to be picked up off the floor after Larry Fitzgerald ran in for I was on the floor. I don't know who even picked me up. My son don't even know who picked me up, because we were watching the game together. We had a bunch of friends over. Somebody picked me up and said there's still like 1 minute and 46 seconds left, whatever it was. Don't give up. It's not over.
I'll tell you, Ralph, it wasn't easy. I mean, I'll tell you right now but he won himself a big game. I don't care if it was all those years ago.
No, I know.
They got a victory. I'm just saying, James Franklin, bro, I don't not like you. I think you're a good guy. I think Coach Day is a good guy, but win, gosh damn it. Win. Win. Ralph, do you know how much money these coaches make? It's ridiculous what some of these guys make. I mean, come on, man. Earn it, man. And I'll tell you right now, you know how it goes, especially in major college football. If you don't win, they're going to run you the hell out of there. So I don't know.
It happened to Neil Brown in West Virginia.
Look at Neil Brown.
He had two only out of 6 seasons. He only had 2 winning seasons. Like I just read it off the notes there.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye. I mean, it's cutthroat.
These teams today they're all about winning. Nobody wants, I guess the alumni. I guess the alumni have something to do with that, because
oh yeah.
They don't. Yeah, back in the days, the alumni that the teams were good, and now they're coming in and they're losing. They don't want to see that.
No,
so I'm sure they got their say in it.
Exactly. And then going on tomorrow, Ralph. I mean, okay, don't even think though for a second, just because I feel that Oregon is the better football team. Number one thing, we got to play the game. And we can talk all we want to, do all the analysis. That's what Tara and I say all the time on our shows.
Right.
We can talk all we want to, but they got to play the game. Regardless, though, it's not like Oregon is scot-free here. Because number one thing above all, what in the holy hell did you guys do in the first week? I mean, this game blew my damn mind. Oregon coming out. And here I am building up Oregon. Okay, I sound like an idiot. Building up Oregon, talk about Oregon's going to run through the Big 12. Oregon's this, Oregon's that. Oregon is like Hercules going into the Big 12. And then going to the Big 10, sorry.
I was going to say.
The Big 10, sorry. But
it's hard to get used to.
I know. But I'll tell you right now, because I'm thinking of Pac-12 too, obviously.
Yeah, Pac-12.
But what's killing me is they start the season. And, Ralph, let me just drop a little bit of, for your listeners here, a little bit of knowledge, man. Not saying anything bad or whatever, but let me just go ahead and throw something out there. Freaking Idaho. Did you know there's a trivia question on Idaho? Did you know that there is something that the Idaho Vandals no one's ever done it in the NCAA ever. They are a history-making team.
I know Merrill Hodge played for Idaho, former Pittsburgh Steeler.
He did. Mikey Apati, who played on.
Oh yes, I heard it. Yes.
He played on the Rams. Or no. Did he play on the Rams? I think the Rams, the Cardinals, and the Niners. No, yeah, I mean he was an offensive lineman probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Idaho's, they produced. But
Okay.
I'll tell you right now, Idaho has some history, and it's not good history. Idaho is the only team in the NCAA to ever go backwards. Idaho started out, I believe, Division III, Division II. They climbed their way up to the FCS.
Oh, wow.
They played in the FCS for some years, and then guess what? It was just too much, so they dropped back down to FCS.
Wow.
They're
I never knew that.
Only program in NCAA history to actually go down a division and not up a division. Okay? And it's crazy. You got teams that we are pleading for. Mount Union, please go Division II. Okay? North Dakota State, South Dakota State, please stop playing in the FCS and go be Division I single A. Like, play with the big boys. You can play, you know what I mean? But Idaho, they've gone backwards. Okay, whatever. But Ralph, really? The only team in history to go backwards, and Oregon plays them like this, and they only win 24-14? Oh, I was on their ass. Trust me, I was on them on that week because I was like, seriously, Oregon? Are you serious?
You weren't getting the we're gonna step up and play this team and give it our all, and you didn't want to hear any of that, right?
Over here, looking like Tarzan, playing like Jane. Over here, look,
There
I
you
was
go.
like
Tarzan playing like Jane. I like that.
Hey, that's exactly what that team was. Okay, so they played that game. All right, Boise State. The next game, you want to play a team who's coming for you. Oregon's not very far. Eugene is not very far from Boise. I mean, it's not like they're close or anything, but they're not like going across the country, okay? It's the next state over. They got a desert in Eastern Oregon and then Boise. Okay, let me tell you right now, man, this game was a good one. None of us really knew how good Boise was going to be early on, but they were pretty damn good. This was a close game, a 3-point game that, Boise comes in on over. The Broncos play extremely well against the Ducks in Autzen. Great game, but they get it done. Okay, good for Oregon. They're 2-0. Then they play their bitter rivals. First time where it's not a Pac-12 game, and they absolutely destroy Oregon State in Corvallis, 49-14 in the Civil War. That's the first time this game has ever been played that early in the season. And then after that, I mean, okay, they dunk on UCLA, which everybody did this year. They destroyed Michigan State, which everybody did this year. Then it was Ohio State. And let me tell you right now, man, I just feel that this team, man, this was great. This was a great game. It was a 1 versus 2 game. It just showed you how good Ohio State really was, because Ohio State came out to fight. Good. Oh, yeah, they came to fight. And Oregon, well, everybody was looking at these guys like they were going to win something this year, And Ohio State, this was one of my favorite games of the season. It was nasty. It was a punch fight. I think it was 1 versus 2. But regardless, I don't care.
Right.
This was a hell of a game, and I loved it from start to finish. I was glued to the TV. And Oregon came out on top by 1 point, 32-31. What a hell of a game that was. And there you go. Then they go to Purdue, absolutely destroy Purdue. Do you see what I'm saying here, though, Ralph? They're destroying the teams they need to destroy. And there's no mercy.
Right.
Yeah, there's no mercy here. Illinois was really good at this point in the season. And look what they did to Illinois, 38-9. Purdue, 35-0. Michigan, hey, defending champions, let's go ahead and smash you guys 38-17. Hey, Maryland, I don't know how Maryland scored 18 points on them, but they did. Regardless, Maryland is very happy. That's their Super Bowl right there, scoring 18 on the Ducks. All right. And guess what? The Ducks did away with them, though, 39-18. Wisconsin was a game that was another one that was kind of freaky because Wisconsin is good, but come on, man. 16-13. I know you're in Madison. I get it. But this game to me, I don't know. I think it was an off day. I don't know. Regardless, though, finishing out the season, they played Washington, smacked them around as per usual, and now it's Penn State time. Look, I'm not saying that the entire game is based off of these two records at all, Ralph, but I will tell you right now, based off of what Oregon has been able to do this year, based off of how good this football team is prepared, they're not young, they're not old, they're right in the middle. They got a lot of players in their middle years here. Yeah. There's definitely some first-round projections on both teams. There's some good stuff here.
That's what I was reading before we came on. Because I put down here, too, the Oregon defensive line, they're going to have to show up to have a big impact on the game. And the guys are Caldwell and Birch. And I think those are the two guys that are projected to be number one picks.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'll tell you right now, those two guys – it's going to be a hell of a fight. And I'll tell you, look, I'm not going to count out Penn State. I'm just telling you they're my favorite because I think they're the better football team. But I'll tell you right now, we can think whatever we want to. Once again, we got to play the game, right? If the game is here, I'm looking here on ESPN.com just because I want to, make sure I get a clear, pick or the points.
Uh-huh.
Look at this. This is crazy. The spread, it's only 3.5 points, man. The spread.
I know you would have thought it would be a little more.
Yeah, and the over under is 50 and 50.5. So
I mean, it's at a neutral site, but it's always in Indianapolis.
Yeah, it's in Lucas Oil, and I'll tell you right now, man, the Ducks are coming. You look at this team, you look at Penn State. I mean, I love what I see. I really do. Gabriel has played a very good year. He's really focused. He's had 24 touchdowns this year. I mean, he's over 3,000 yards. But you can't look, Alara, you cannot look past this guy either. Closing in on 3,000 yards. He's throwing 18 touchdowns of his own. Singleton is one hell of an athlete, man. This guy, 121 yards on the ground, 121 carries for 733 yards. But compared to, I know they have multiple backs that Penn State like to, throw in there. But look at this guy, man. James.
Oh, yes. I wrote a note about him, too. He's got a 5.6 yard per carry.
Look at him.
They need that because Penn State has the top 10 ranked defense, only allowing 3.12 yards per play.
Let me tell you this. I think you in Pittsburgh know a thing or two about carries per game, or sorry, about yards per carry with Najee Harris. Okay, bulldozing everybody. All right,
stepped it up.
You see what I mean? So, I mean, you guys know I've seen some great running backs. All right, I think I saw this guy. I forgot his name when I was in high school. Oh, Jerome Bettis. Yeah.
Oh God.
The bus. There's a reason why he was the bus. Okay, so
his son just signed with Notre Dame, I think.
I love it.
As a wide receiver. Yeah, he's going to go there as a wide receiver.
Do you see what I mean, though, man? Yeah. Like, you know personally, Ralph, over there, okay, about great running backs. And this guy right here, he's a great running back, and I love what he brings to the table. He's going to be very hard to stop, and you're absolutely right. Whatever you were reading is absolutely right. To slow him down, this defensive line for the Nittany Lions needs to be lights out. They have to deliver, because if they cannot get penetration early on, this guy's going to run all over them.
Now, what do you think about the X factor of Penn State, Tyler Warren, the tight end?
Oh,
now this kid, I I tell you, I was watching Penn State mostly for him because he was every offensive play. You didn't know where he was going to be. And some of the games I actually watched the games from start to finish. He was something else. He was something else. And like I say, he was the all-time leader in TD catches.
Mm-hmm.
He had another one last week. I mean, he just plays all over. But
great hands.
I mean, if Penn State can find a way to sneak him around, I don't know.
Yeah.
They could play a game.
I'll tell you, great hands, amazing athleticism. He's a big boy. He's got big. This guy is the total package, and he will be. If Penn State wins this game, he'll be the saving grace of this team. There's no way he won't be. He is going to be a weapon. I mean, look at. I don't want to bring these idiots up, but look at. I'm sorry. They make me sick whenever I talk about them.
I love the way you lead into it, but that's great.
I hate the Raiders so much.
God,
I hate that team.
I didn't think it was going to be that. It was going to be another college team that
truly. I hate USC too, but I hate the Raiders with like every bit of hate that my body can fathom. I hate with the Raiders. But you've seen those idiots, okay? How they've played though. Brock Bowers is a breath of fresh air.
Guys,
look at him. Look at this guy. Look at him. And look at. I think we know another guy who we love to hate as Raider fans over here, Travis Kelce.
Right.
I think we know him or two. Another guy. I don't know. Who's that dude for the Niners? Kittle.
Kittle. Yeah.
Do you see what I mean here?
Yeah.
Remember Jimmy Graham?
Oh, yeah. Jimmy Graham, Saints, yes.
Gonzalez. I mean, hey, you guys had a dude who I liked a lot. I don't know how you guys got rid of him. Remember Jesse James?
Jesse James.
I'm just saying.
And he caught that ball versus the Patriots. Don't
remember
that? Those goddamn referees.
I know.
I'm telling you, Larry, if it wasn't for Tom Brady, now that you brought up the Steelers, now you got me going here. If it wasn't for Tom Brady, we'd have 3 more Super Bowls.
I think so.
End of story.
I think so. No, I think so. I really think so. And I'll tell you right now, honestly, Ralph, I look at this team and I say, you need a dynamic tight end. You need him. Yeah. You need him so bad. And I'll tell you, seeing this guy out there, he reminds me a lot of that tight end that can do all the business. And I love what he's got. So trust me, tomorrow he has to have a big game. This has to be one of his biggest games because if he doesn't, Penn State is going to lose this game. I mean, you know what I mean? Like they need to fire on all cylinders. And trust me, there's a lot of talent though on this team. There really is. Penn State has so much. Like I said, just because I think Oregon is a little bit better, it doesn't mean Penn State. I mean, Penn State has so much freaking talent.
Penn State's defense is really good. I mean, 10th in the country. They're going up against a juggernaut team that can play offense.
They are.
I read you with that. I read you about the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be the X factor for me. I think he's going to do something to lead Oregon to the. I think it's going to be a close game.
Gabriel.
But I think Oregon is going to pull it out.
Yeah, hey, this is it, man. This is his last year. This is it. He's going, he's going to the draft. But like I said, man, we're not going to count out Drew Allar either. This might be his last year.
No, we didn't even talk about him. I mean, he's there's a couple of games I watched, like I said, and he was precise. He was a precisionist. He was on the money. He was, not turn the ball over. Run. He could run the ball.
He is a great.
He played one game with a brace. He was running with the ball. He was running 20, 30 yards. He took the brace off.
Exactly. And it's those great players that can do that. The ones that can say, to hell with what's wrong with me. Okay. And say, I have to go out here and win this game.
Right.
And I just, there's a quarterback. Oh my gosh. It's going to freaking jack me up. Oh my gosh. There's a quarterback that, oh my gosh. And we're going back to the 80s here. Help me out. I don't know if you know this or not, but there was a quarterback in the 80s, I believe, or maybe even the 70s, where he had laryngitis and he couldn't talk. So he couldn't call the plays. and the team had to freaking buy him. It was like it cost for the time. It was like cutting edge technology. There was a little microphone that he spoke with, and there was a freaking on his back plate. There was a little
80s?
set of speakers. Yeah, and he had to, and that's how he talked because he was like barely talking. So they had to like.
It was a college championship game.
That was in the NFL.
Oh, it was the NFL.
And homeboy played with the little microphone and the speakers on his back so he can talk to his huddle. I forgot the quarterback's name. Oh my gosh. That is going to be, and the guy is never going to be known as like a Brady, or no one even knows who the hell he is. But I forgot who it would be. But guys like him, that's a badass.
No, you ain't
am I
kidding.
right?
Oh,
that's
yeah. I would have loved to seen that.
Oh yeah. Oh my!
You got me on a mission now. I got to find out who that was.
Yeah, I totally forgot who that player was, man. What I'm saying though is that's amazing. You know what I mean? Like that's amazing.
Yeah, that's something. Especially in the 80s.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's just crazy.
I'm surprised the other teams didn't say it was
Steve DeBerg. Steve DeBerg.
Oh,
Steve DeBerg. He was a Niner. He was a Niner, and he played with freaking laryngitis, and he played with a speaker on his back in 1980. I just found it.
That is insane. Oh, you found it. I was Googling it too. I couldn't get it up.
1980. But what I'm saying is that's badass stuff right there, Ralph. You got to be a badass. It's those players who just don't. I'll tell you right now, man. In my high school days, and especially in college, you had to kill me. You had to kill me.
Yeah.
That's the only way to get me off that damn field. You had to kill me. There's no other way.
You look like it in those pictures I see over there.
Hey, showing about me, but I'm gonna say, I appreciate you, Ralph. But you know what I mean? But that's that kind of heart you have to have. You got to kill me. There's no other way. You got to kill me. And my pulse has to not be freaking beating to get me off this damn field. And those are the guys. Those are the guys that, play with all that kind of heart, and that's that. So I don't even know how we got on the topic.
I know. Well, we were talking about the quarterback is going to play a good game.
Yeah,
maybe one of these guys will do something in that realm tomorrow. I don't know. Like I said, Drew, like we started talking about, because I said Drew Aller was playing with a brace.
Exactly.
And he ran 20 yards on 2 plays and he took the brace off. So
see what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. It's those guys who take off the braces, who say, I don't care. You got to kill me to get out this.
It's probably that, the adrenaline. And I mean, come on.
Exactly.
I did a show like a couple of weeks ago where I was saying, I'm going to do a show where I can actually talk about it. But in football, on every play, Larry, how many things can happen on one play in football? I got to look it up. There's got to be something out there that'll tell you.
Ralph,
right? How many plays can happen on one play? It could be anything. Could be a pass, could be a run, could be a first down, forget about it. There's endless of what could happen.
Just when you think you saw it all.
So great. You don't know what you're going to see. You don't know what you're going to see.
And that's why
games like this, hey, number 1 versus number 3, it's a classic. It's a classic game.
You're so right. And Ralph, I'll tell you right now, man, tomorrow we are going to get a football game. Penn State is going to come out. They know. Penn State knows that people right now are talking just like me. You know what they're saying?
Yeah.
Right here, buddy. Right here. They're saying,
definitely.
They're saying, okay, please talk bad about us, because when we beat Oregon tomorrow, we're going to point to the scoreboard, and that's all. And I love that. I want that. That's my kind of mentality right there. Please doubt me, so that way I can make you feel stupid when you're wrong. And you know what? Yeah. I'm okay with that. I want Penn State to come out and be like that. I want them to play that way, because I want a great football game. I want a good football game tomorrow.
Be a great game. I feel it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward. These defenses are on it right now. The offenses are playing well. They have all the pieces on all sides. I mean, I'll tell you right now, Ralph, I'm really excited for this. I do feel that we're going to see a lot of fireworks tomorrow, and this is awesome. I hated the fact that the Pac-12 went away because of some dumb idiot. Don't get me going on that idiot. But I'll tell you right now,
a lot of guys are getting you going. Relax.
Oh, they're getting me going. But I'll tell you right now, Ralph, if we're going to get something out of this, this championship, this is a Rose Bowl game, man. Because the Rose Bowl has always been Big Ten versus Pac-12.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, this is a Rose Bowl game.
This is a Rose Bowl game.
This is a good football game. And honestly, man, I cannot be more excited to watch this thing tomorrow. So Ralph, I'll tell you, man.
One more thing. What would be your thought? Like, let's say now, like, Oregon loses. Where do you think they would go in the bracket?
This is going to be good. If Oregon, I mean, a lot of things got to happen for teams to move around and all these things right now. But I'll tell you right now. Okay, so as we know, the bracket at the moment, we don't really know where it's at. We see teams here, there, everywhere. If Oregon, because they're currently number one, okay, they're currently the top dog.
I mean, where are they going to go if they lose?
If they lose,
you got those guys that are going to be sitting there figuring this all out. But
if they lose. Oh, this is hard. Okay. So I got it pulled up here. I got the bracket because I just want to, make sure I'm as accurate as I can be.
I just figured,
okay.
I'd ask you because I thought that was a good thing to go over.
Oh, this is a hard one. It's a hard one. If they somehow lose this game, we got to also take account into, and this is why, and I don't want to go off in a sidebar, but I'll tell you right now, Notre Dame, idiots. Notre Dame, bunch of idiots. And I'll say it on every single show. I'll say it. I don't care. You can put me up on the freaking Cowboys thing during a Cowboy game because I know that screen is huge. I don't give a crap. They're idiots. Okay.
That big screen in Dallas.
You put me in Times Square. Okay. I don't care. They're idiots. Okay, they're idiots. I have my best friend.
Times Square.
Oh yeah,
you won't miss it in Times Square.
Exactly.
It's going around in a circle.
Exactly, and I'll go around in a circle with it. I don't care. I mean, but I'll tell you right now, Ralph, they're idiots. My best friend is a Notre Dame fan. He's been a Notre Dame fan his entire life. He thinks they're idiots. Okay, and this is somebody who bleeds those ugly, nasty Notre Dame colors. Okay, fight on USC. But I will tell you this.
Right.
They're idiots because you won't join a conference. You're stupid. You are stupid. Stupid.
That's crazy.
You will not join a conference, and that is going to bite you in the ass every time. Because if you were to have joined a damn conference, you could be ranked higher. You can get more favors. Okay, you can get more higher, but they're not, and they refuse to be ranked. They refuse that. So guess what, Ralph? They're always going to get the back treatment. They're always going to be the second rate. So Notre Dame, to me, isn't really a threat here because they're going to end up wherever they end up. They're going to end up wherever they end up. So does Oregon fall over Notre Dame if they lose this game? Maybe. And you know what, Ralph? It's their own damn fault. It's their own damn fault. Will they fall past Notre Dame? Probably. But if they don't, that's their own damn fault. Okay.
Right.
Texas has a football game tomorrow too, man.
I was watching something on TV before I came on. They showed all the games coming up.
Yeah, and Texas,
like the greatest weekend ever.
Oh, it's exactly
college football. Forget it.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun, man. And tomorrow, Texas, they got to beat Georgia. So I mean, it's a lot of different things. But let's just say all the teams win who are higher ranked. Honestly, Ralph, I don't see Oregon falling past 4. I don't really see that happening. Oregon, Penn State. I mean, Penn State, if they're going to go up for sure, Texas wins. I'm sure they'll probably win that game. They're going to go to number 1. Penn State will probably go to 2. Oregon will fall back, maybe 4, maybe 5, depending. Georgia's definitely going to fall back big time on that one. Ohio State has nothing to say because Ohio State's not in this game. So they're back already. So they can't really say too much. So really, Oregon can fall significantly. They can probably fall back to like maybe 5, but I don't know if they're going to fall back. They beat Ohio State. How the hell do you put Oregon behind Ohio State if they beat them in the regular season, even if they lose this game?
It's amazing that they got to sit in these rooms and they got to think about how they're going to do this. And then there's always going to be somebody who's like, we got shafted. We shouldn't be there. Or we didn't make it. Yeah,
exactly. But let me tell you right now, Ralph, the best part about it, though, is the fact that we have 12 teams now. So you know what? Okay, get mad, get pissed off, whatever anybody wants to say. But you know something, Ralph? It's okay because we got 12 teams. We got 12 teams, and that's all right. We got 12 teams, man. We got 12 teams that are, they're going to go ahead. Right now, it's going to be 112, 11-2. You know what I mean? So right now, as it sits, it'll be Oregon, Miami. That's hilarious because Oregon will blow Miami off of the face of the earth. I mean, that would be a funny game to watch because Miami doesn't know how to play actual good teams. But, we'll save that for another day. It would be Texas and Alabama. That's a fun game. Would be Penn State and Boise. Oh, that's a fun football game now. It would be Notre Dame and Indiana. And for some crazy reason, I'm not feeling too good about that Notre Dame. But they'll probably win that one, but by a hair. They'll probably jack them up for the next week, though. That'll be hard. It'll be SMU and Georgia. Georgia right now, I don't know. They're looking kind of suspect. I don't know if they want to see SMU. And
SMU's a good team.
Oh, pony up Dallas. They came out of nowhere. And then you got Ohio State.
They went into the ACC and they're
Exactly.
They blew Pitt out.
Oh, yeah, they did. They did. Poor Pitt. Oh, poor Pitt.
Once they lost their quarterback, that kid, that was bad.
I really wanted them to do well this year. That one hurt me. But anyway.
They were 7-0. They were having a great start.
Oh, it was painful. Now they're going to play in the No One Cares Bowl versus USC probably, because no one cares. And then it would be Ohio State and Tennessee. Now, is that going to be the games? No. But if Oregon wins, Penn State will probably fall maybe to 4 or 5, maybe 6, depending. I wouldn't think anything past that, though. You know what I mean? And it all depends, too, because we're going to see some shakeups. But realistically, I wouldn't see Oregon falling further than 5. I don't see that happening. And I wouldn't see Penn State falling further than 6. I just don't see that either. Because Penn State's a damn good football team. And to me, Penn State's way better. Look, Penn State is don't you compare them to the Vols. Stop it.
No.
They're better, in my opinion, than SMU. They're better than Indiana. So do the right thing, committee. Don't be a-holes. You know who's better than who.
Like I said before, they were a couple of plays away from beating Ohio State. They would have been undefeated.
Exactly. So I look at games like that and I'm like, all right, I get it, but don't get crazy.
So give me a prediction for tomorrow. What's the score going to be? Let's see who's closer. I like Oregon. I'm going to pick Oregon. You go first.
This is a good one. I got to go. Oh boy, if I got to pick a score for this one, I'm going to go. Let's go 38. Let's go crazy. Let's go 38-34.
Wow.
Hell of a football game. We're gonna see some offense, and I'm not sliding the defense here. I'm not, but we're gonna see some offense tomorrow. So
I'm gonna go 29-26 Oregon.
With
some 2-point conversions in there to make the score a little wacky.
I like that. You know why I like that, Ralph? Because we're both giving these offenses a chance.
Yeah.
Both giving some points on the board. We're going to get excitement out there. Honestly, Ralph, it's going to be a great one. I'm really excited to see both these teams out there and to play each other. Best of luck to all these young men who went out there and poured everything into this damn game. And we're going to see a great game. Once again, I'm going to take Oregon, but it doesn't mean Penn State can't go out there and block everybody.
Yeah. All right.
So.
Well, hey, thanks for coming on. It was great. Always love being on with you, and as always, thanks for this opportunity.
Hey, man.
You've created a new person over here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're over 200 tonight on the views.
I'm in the airport today, and I'm like high on myself. I'm like, I got a show tonight. And people are like just stare, like people are looking at me, and I'm just waiting for somebody to say, you're the host of the Yinzer Report.
Wait till it happens, Ralph. I'm just saying.
My nephew that was just on, his brother, he called his cable company that was in Pittsburgh. And he was like, hey, my uncle does a podcast for IE Sports Radio. And the guy says, really, what's it called? He goes, the Yinzer Report. He goes, son of a gun. He goes, I've watched it. Here's my nephew talking to a cable guy in Pittsburgh saying that he watched the thing. I said, good. Tell him. Give him the time. Tell him Tuesday, 5 p.m.
Is that not awesome? Is that right? Ralph, it just goes to show you, man, how hard you've worked, what you've done, what you've been able to do. I'm telling you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Ralph Calise, this man right here. I got some control in here real quick, so let me go ahead and bump this up real fast. I'm going to take the loop out of here. But ladies and gentlemen, can we get some love, Mr. Ralph Calise?
Oh, yeah. I like that. I just got
sir, take a bow.
get the alert that the Detroit show is on. I hope we ain't screwing them up.
You got Detroit on right now. Ladies and gentlemen, by the way, on the same exact channel right now, YouTube, man, we also have two other great shows on Gritsville, USA, with Mr. Christian Harvey, talking all things in Detroit right now.
There
And
you
also, still here on the same channel on YouTube, we also have our boy Alden K talking Arizona sports on Arizona Sports Zone. We got 3 shows going on at one time right now on iSports Radio. This is how we do it, baby. That's how we roll.
That is great. I love it. I love having the shows on all at once on the air. That is
great. Because, come on now, Ralph. We put this on here for a reason, man. We are your direct feed for all that is sports. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. And it's true, brother. We really are, man. We do our best. We got great people like Ralph over here, and we just keep it going. So, ladies and gentlemen.
Great logo. You got the great song now for the drop. It's just great.
Hey, we do our best, man. But ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's been an honor. Ralph, it's been an honor. Thank you for having me here. I'm really excited. For being a part of this, man. And you need me back on here, you just let me know, man. And I'm going to try to make a way.
We'll see what happens. Maybe you'll come down in the end in the college playoffs. Maybe they'll meet again. Who knows? You never know.
We'll see. But hey, appreciate you, brother. Thanks again, man. Have a great rest of your
Larry. You too.
You soon, brother.
Thanks for coming on, buddy. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
You too, brother. Take care.
All right. So that was a great piece, guys. I hope everybody enjoyed it. That was Larry B. He's the guy who runs IE Sports Radios, if you haven't figured it out. And he hired me just been about a year now. He hired me about a year ago. And he gave me the realms of the Yinzer report. And hey, I ran with it, and I love what I do, and I love this podcast, and I'll do anything I can to keep it going. And this is the Yinzer report on IE Sports Radio. Thank you, everybody who came in the comments and joined in today. And, of course, thank you, Larry B., for being my special guest with the Big Ten Championship. Catch his show by tomorrow, by the way, with Terran Rodriguez, the 3-and-out college edition. They're going to go over all the bowl games that are going on tonight and tomorrow on their college show. It's an amazing show. You can't don't miss it. I think it's on at 10 Eastern and 7 Pacific time tomorrow with 3-and-out with Larry B. and Terran Rodriguez. All right, so it's Friday night. Everybody enjoy your Friday night. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you, Pittsburgh. Don't forget the Steelers have the rematch against Baltimore Sunday. Hopefully we can pull out a win, go 10-3. And our division title is looking better as we go along. So I'm going to sign off for now. This is Ralph Calise to the Yinzer Report. And thank you, everybody who tuned in the chat. Thank you, Larry B. Great time with Larry B. And see you Tuesday. We're back on our normal time at Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern. And that would be 2 p.m. Pacific time. All right, so everybody out there, have a great night. Thank you, Pittsburgh. Thank you, Steel City. Let's go, Steelers. And I'll talk to you guys on Tuesday. Good night, everybody.